Chapter 1177. At the start, Huang Ling rejected him pretentiously. But gradually, her brain crashed from his kisses. Maupassant got up from the chair and kissed until both of them fell onto the bed. The man's hands were disobedient as they caressed her soft body. When his hands came to her breasts, he covered them and raised his head to look at the woman below him. Huang Ling's eyes were in a daze. Suddenly, she felt shy being stared at by him. She looked away and did not dare to look at him. Looking at him like this, one would fall into his vortex and not be able to get out. "Do you want to continue?" Maupassant asked in a low voice. "No." She did not mean what she said. Maupassant smiled sexily. Even though a woman says no, her body is honest. "I'm tired," Huang Ling said in a wrong tone. "When you were not around, those female classmates bullied me. Your Aina also bullied me." Maupassant raised his eyebrows. "What do you mean by my Aina? I've only met her a few times." "A few times and you're so familiar with her." "She's my grandpa's disciple. She knows me well, but I don't know her well." "Ha ha ha, there's another woman who is drooling over your beauty." "Yes, you have another opponent now. So, if you want to win, you have to stand with me." Maupassant rubbed her breasts and smiled seductively. "Why are you wearing such thick underwear? Don't move." Huang Ling grabbed his hand and stared at him. "Maupassant, if you move again, I'll kick your balls. Let's see if you still dare to be so flirtatious." "Ha ha ha." Maupassant heard her rough words and could not help but laugh. "Cute, really cute." Maupassant stopped rubbing her breasts. Instead, he used the back of his hand to caress her face gently as though he was touching a precious crystal. His actions were gentle and careful. "I like you, Huang Ling. I like you. If you're willing to kick me, then kick me, okay?" Huang Ling looked at him with an aggrieved expression. "Maupassant, you only know how to bully me." Maupassant smiled warmly. "How did I bully you? I can't wait to dote on you. I couldn't get in touch with you yesterday, and it's the same today. I suddenly received an order and didn't have time to tell you, but I miss you. I gave you a call on WeChat before I arrived at school. You were the one who didn't see it in time," Maupassant said gently. There was a faint smile at the corner of his mouth. That smile seemed to be telling Huang Ling, "You can do whatever you want. As long as you're happy, Brother Mo won't even have you. Why is Aina at the school gate? You were the one who told her to pick you up, right?" Huang Ling's tone was sour. "No, I don't know why she's at the school gate." "Humph, then why is she hugging you and not letting go?" "Maybe, she saw you coming and purposely hugged me to piss you off." "Why didn't you push her away?" "I did. I only paused for a moment. At that time, she said that Grandpa fell and hurt his foot." "How do you want me to believe you? You don't have any feelings for Aina." Maupassant held Huang Ling's face. "If you believe me, I don't need to say more. You'll believe me. If you don't believe me, my explanation, to you, is a cover-up. Huang Ling, if you want me to prove it to you, it's only a matter of time. I'll marry you and stay with you until we grow old. Time will prove that I only love you. If you deliberately want me to do something to prove it, like jumping off a building or jumping into a river, I don't think I can do it. I can't give up my life to prove that I love you and then let you live alone." Maupassant smiled and said, "And I've received training. I might not die from jumping off a building. I might be crippled. That's not cool. I can swim. I'm not afraid of the sea, let alone the river." Chapter 1178. I only believe what I see. If you don't like Aina, you can stay away from her. Huang Ling pursed her lips and said. Well, in the future, except for work matters, I will ignore her for all personal matters. Maupassant smiled, his eyes were deep and full of spirit. You can't care too much about work matters. Don't you have subordinates? Let her communicate with Ives. Huang Ling said domineeringly. Maupassant curled his lips and smiled gently. Okay, I will try to avoid her. Not try, definitely. Huang Ling was angry. I will listen to whatever you say. If you dare to have contact with other women, I will find a little fresh girl. Maupassant's expression was gentle, with a faint smile. You dare. Whether I dare or not depends on your performance. Huang Ling pouted. Huang Ling's skin was very white, and her face was red from Maupassant's kiss just now. Now that she was pouting, her thick red lips once again tempted Maupassant. Maupassant hugged her and kissed her again. Knock knock, the door rang, and Maupassant stopped. He looked at Huang Ling with deep eyes. It must be that brat Ives. Go open the door for him. Huang Ling said. I don't want to. Maupassant's fingers stroked Huang Ling's face. His rough fingers, which had been holding a gun for many years, gently and slowly stroked Huang Ling's skin. Huang Ling felt a burst of numbness, and the place where he stroked was itchy. When his fingers came to her neck, Huang Ling felt even more itchy, and she even giggled. You are willing to laugh. Maupassant gently flicked her neck. He liked this kind of touch. Her skin was delicate, tender, and soft. You can only love me, and I will smile every day. If you fall in love with someone else, I will make you cry every day. I don't love other women. I don't like them. Maupassant smiled. I'm not beautiful, so how did I catch your eye? What's that saying again? Tortoise and mung bean, they've hit it off. Huang Ling couldn't help but laugh. Are you saying that you're a tortoise and I'm a green bean? It's just a metaphor. You can treat me as something else. Anyway, I like you. Maupassant pulled her collar and looked down. Huang Ling glared at him. Do you want to take off my clothes and press on the bed with me? Your skin is red. Don't you have sunscreen? No, go buy it for me. Maupassant smiled gently. Okay. Knock, knock, the door was knocked again. Maupassant frowned as he cursed Ives' entire family in his heart. No one came to open the door after knocking for so long. Did he think that he was busy? This was very disappointing. Huang Ling touched Maupassant's face and smiled. Brother Mo, go open the door. That guy hasn't left yet. I have to open the door. Maupassant got up and tidied his clothes before opening the door. Maupassant was about to scold him when he saw that it wasn't Ives standing at the door, but Aina. His deep eyes flashed with a touch of surprise. It's you. Hearing the words, it's you, Huang Ling also pricked up her ears curiously and looked out. Who was it? Noodles. Aina waved the food box in her hand and smiled. You just came back and the school cafeteria was closed. I didn't know if you had anything, so I took the initiative to send it to you. Maupassant raised his eyebrows and looked at the food box in Aina's hand indifferently. He smiled sarcastically. You cooked the noodles in such a short time. Aina smiled. I didn't cook it. I soaked it. Chapter 1179. Sorry, I don't eat instant noodles. Don't soldiers have to eat everything? If you're trapped by the enemy, you'll have to eat shit. And you're complaining about instant noodles. Upon hearing shit, Huang Ling pursed her lips. This Aina was really uncivilized with her words. Who would be able to eat shit when the other party was about to eat? I'm not trapped by the enemy right now. With that, Maupassant was about to close the door. Aina had long expected this. She hurriedly took a step forward and blocked the door with her entire body. Since Maupassant was about to close the door, she had no choice but to push her out. Aina had thought about it. If he pushed her, she would use force and hug him. I don't eat noodles. You can go back now, Coach Aina. Maupassant looked at Aina indifferently. I'm new here. Can't you be a little more hospitable to me? Aina looked inside and smiled. Or is it because your little girlfriend is here that you're embarrassed to let me in? Momo. Before Maupassant could speak, a coquettish voice drifted out from behind. Coach Aina, since you're here, please invite me in for a while. When he heard that voice, Maupassant's heart felt as though a feather was gently brushing against it. That voice could melt all the bones in his body. This was especially the case when she called out Momo. It was soft and coquettish, causing one's heart to itch and make one's imagination run wild. Even the tall Aina felt goosebumps all over her body from that voice. Her heart trembled fiercely. That voice was way too coquettish. Momo. Wasn't that way of calling him way too girly? Aina sized up Maupassant. For such a tall man to be called Momo by a little woman, why did she feel as though he was afraid of this woman? Maupassant looked at Aina with an indifferent expression. Since Huang Ling asked you to come in, go on in. Huang Ling came out of the room and stood there, buttoning her shirt and tidying up her messy hair. Her appearance could easily make one's thoughts go astray and guess what they were doing earlier on. Aina looked at her and frowned. Seeing her red and swollen lips, Aina's expression turned ugly. Maupassant was really making love with this woman. If she hadn't interrupted them, they would have gone crazy tonight, wouldn't they? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. This was how the two of them were. Momo, my mouth is dry. Huang Ling blinked her watery eyes and looked at Maupassant coquettishly. Maupassant smiled dotingly. I'll pour it for you. Maupassant went to pour water for Huang Ling. Huang Ling walked up to Aina and gave her a military salute. Hello, Coach Aina. Aina's lips twitched into a smile as a response. She looked at Huang Ling from head to toe and asked, Did I disturb you? Huang Ling generously said, It's fine. We have plenty of time in the future. Maupassant poured water and handed it to Huang Ling, saying gently, Here, it's warm. Drink it directly. Huang Ling took it and smiled sweetly at Maupassant, saying, I'm hungry. I want to eat instant noodles. When Maupassant heard that, he looked at Aina. You don't mind my woman eating your instant noodles, right? Aina placed the noodles on the table and said indifferently, The noodles are for you. You can give them to whoever you like. Maupassant opened the bowl of instant noodles and said to Huang Ling gently, Sit down and eat. Huang Ling, instant noodles are not nutritious. I'll allow you to eat it tonight, but you're not allowed to eat it in the future. Got it? Huang Ling sat down and ate slowly. Got it. I don't usually eat it. I'm too tired today and couldn't eat for the entire day. Chapter 1180. Even though I ate at the canteen, I'm still hungry now. Maupassant curled his lips. No wonder you weren't passionate enough earlier on. Don't say that. Coach Aina is here. Huang Ling blushed. At the mention of Coach Aina, Maupassant looked at Aina with a fake smile. Is there anything else? Aina was embarrassed by the question. However, her face was indignant as she looked straight into Maupassant's eyes. Do you love Huang Ling a lot? Huang Ling paused in her action of eating her noodles. What was going on? Was this Aina trying to provoke her right in front of Maupassant? Maupassant shrugged his shoulders. Isn't that obvious? Even if you're daddy objects, you still want to be with her. I'm the one who loves her, not the other way around. My daddy's objections are invalid. Huang Ling blinked her eyes. Why did Ana's words seem as though Maupassant's daddy didn't like her? Ana looked at Huang Ling. She wasn't afraid of dealing a blow to Huang Ling as she said coldly, she has neither the figure or the looks. Just what do you like about her? What? She said that she had neither the figure or the looks. Huang Ling turned around and raised her head to look at Ana. She respected her as a coach even though she knew that she was a love rival. And yet, she was trampling on her right in front of her. Huang Ling grit her teeth before looking at Maupassant with an aggrieved expression. Momo, don't I have a figure? Don't the Hun tribe have big butts? How could Maupassant not know that Huang Ling was pretending to be aggrieved? He played along with her act. Heading forth, he hugged her shoulders and coaxed, you have a figure, you have a figure. Huang Ling, don't be sad. Whether or not your figure is good isn't something that others can judge. I like your Hun. If it's any bigger, I won't like it anymore. What if it's smaller? Huang Ling blinked her eyes, hoping to squeeze out a tear, but she couldn't. There were no tears to squeeze out. As long as it's yours, I'll like it even if it turns into a small steamed bun. Actually, Wang Zai little mantou is quite delicious. It's better than those big steamed buns. Huang Ling hugged Maupassant's waist and muttered. Yes. Maupassant nodded and smiled. As long as it's yours, whether it's a small steamed bun or a big steamed bun, I love it all. Huang Ling looked at Ana unhappily. Did you hear that? Momo likes women of my size. Momo, what do you think of Coach Ana's figure? Tall and sturdy. Do you like it? I don't like it. I like girls like you, cute and lovable. Ana couldn't take it anymore. What the fuck, this was really torturing single people. Ana glared at Maupassant. I'm leaving. Huang Ling waved to her. Take care, Coach Ana. I won't send you off. After Ana left, Huang Ling stopped eating her instant noodles as well. She looked at Maupassant worriedly. Did I offend her? Maupassant carried her up and returned to the bed. Yes. Will she use her power to take revenge on me and torture me cruelly during training? Huang Ling asked worriedly. Pretend to faint. Maupassant played with her hair. Huang Ling heard that. Ha! If you're really too tired to walk, pretend to faint. If you're asking me to cheat again, why did you still want me to come to the military academy? I want to accompany you to the end of your university career. I want you to experience the feeling of being in love in university. Even so, I don't have to come to the military academy. The military academy is good. It can help you train your body. Maupassant hugged her. I really want to keep you here. Huang Ling pouted. I don't think I can. My body feels like it's falling apart. I definitely can't satisfy you. Chapter 1181. Huang Ling had thought that Ana would take revenge on her and take extra care of her during training. But the truth was, that was not the case. Ana was so strict with every student. 2 weeks passed in the blink of an eye. Huang Ling had gotten used to the life in the military school. Although she still could not keep up with the training, at least she was not weak. The only annoying thing was that she was tanned. Maupassant had told her that health was nothing compared to tanned skin. Sigh, with Maupassant's love, so be it if she was tanned. When she was not tanned, her skin would turn white. Moreover, it was almost the Mid-Autumn Festival. The sun would set faster and the training would not be so tiring. At night, the night breeze would be cool. Recently, the number of training sessions had also decreased. This was because the school was going to hold a Mid-Autumn Festival gala. The performances were all self-rehearsed and performed by the students in the class. Huang Ling would also participate in the performance. She would not sing or dance, but play the guzheng. After spending so much time with Song Wuyo had taught her how to play the guzheng. Song Wuyo had taught her how to play the song, Sentimental. This was a very beautiful and sad song. Song Wuyo had told her that she had composed this song herself. From the song, one could tell how desperate Song Wuyo had been in the cold palace. As for this song, it was also Huang Ling's specialty. Hence, she signed up with the senior who was in charge of the gala. The Mid-Autumn Festival Gala was held on the school's stage. The stage was beautifully decorated. The background was a hand-painted oil painting about the Mid-Autumn Festival and homesickness. The wide stage was even bigger than a movie theater. The seats below the stage were arranged in rows. Even if one was sitting in the last row, one could clearly see the performance on the stage. The Mid-Autumn Festival Gala that everyone had been looking forward to would be held tonight. The hosts were 2 men and 2 women from the student union. Their eloquence was not inferior to the professional hosts. Tonight, they were beautiful and smart university students. They had taken off their military uniforms and changed into beautiful clothes. Everyone's face was full of smiles. The performances that they had rehearsed were very exciting. Singing, skits, dancing. All of the performances were very exciting. Solo dance and solo singing both had their own characteristics. The song, "We Are Soldiers That Made One's Blood Boil" ended. The female host walked out and said with a clear and loud voice, "The song, 'We Are Soldiers' has sung our hearts out. At this moment, my heart is filled with a sense of glory and pride. Soldiers are great." This song was sung passionately by Lu Chuanxiong, expressing the heroic feelings of a soldier who loved his country. "I'm very touched to be your classmate. We can sing and dance well, and we are also proficient in musical instruments. Next, let's invite our classmate, Huang Ling, to play a sad song about missing her lover, Sha Qing." After the host finished speaking, someone brought out a guzheng. The guzheng was placed on the table, and it was very eye-catching. However, the students below the stage were not interested in the guzheng performance and did not seem to be optimistic about this performance. What's so nice about sitting in front of the table and playing? It wasn't as good as the skit, but the dance was better. When Maupassant, who was sitting in front, heard Huang Ling's performance, his deep eyes flashed with a touch of astonishment, followed by anticipation. This girl, she had participated in the performance and did not tell him. However, when Huang Ling appeared on the stage, everyone present was stunned. Huang Ling was dressed in Han Chinese clothing. The jade chiffon dress she was wearing was specially tailored for her by Song Wuyo after knowing that she was going to perform the guzheng. Her waist-length hair was tied up with a wooden hairpin, like a bun. The jade chiffon dress on her body made her look like a fairy descending to the mortal world. Chapter 1182. She had beautiful eyebrows and fair skin. When the audience below the stage saw her, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. They thought that a fairy had really descended to the mortal world. They thought that it was Chang'e. Even Maupassant was stunned by Huang Ling. As if time had frozen, he sat there and looked at her in a daze. She walked towards the zither table with light steps. Her gauze skirt fluttered and her steps were light. When she reached the zither table, she bowed slightly to the audience below the stage and sat down gracefully. She raised her hands. Her hands, which were smeared with blemish cream, gently stroked the strings. Then, she plucked and the zither began to play. The sound of the zither was like a slow-flowing stream. It was quiet and gurgling, the beautiful sound of the zither lingered in the air. It was melodious and sounded like a ring of bells. The moment the sound of the zither began, the audience below the stage held their breaths. They quickly got into the mood and listened to the song with full attention. Soon, the song entered the sad stage. It made people's hearts ache. It was a desolate and lonely song of sorrow. After the song ended, the people who listened to the song seemed to be immersed in sadness and did not come back to their senses for a long time. Huang Ling stood up, bowed, and went backstage. At this moment, the audience below the stage finally reacted and applauded Huang Ling fiercely. Maupassant's eyes were full of smiles and tenderness. He did not expect that his woman could play the zither. Moreover, the dress on her was stunning. Huang Ling became popular in the school because of the song Xiaoqing. After the gala ended, Huang Ling waited for Maupassant outside the performance room. She stood in front of the pillar and quietly looked at the entrance of the performance room. The students came out in groups. When they saw Huang Ling's classmates, they took the initiative to greet Huang Ling and smiled. The school's professor Chen Xia came to Huang Ling. Chen Xia wore a pair of glasses. His facial features were beautiful. He looked like a polite and cultured man. Huang Ling looked at the environmental education professor in confusion. Professor Chen. The clouds are green, and the flowers are red. My eyes cut through the autumn water, my 10 fingers peel the spring onions. Chen Xia stood in front of Huang Ling and without another word, began to recite the poem. Professor Chen, I don't understand, Huang Ling said with a smile. A poem praising you. You are beautiful as a fairy. Huang Ling smiled calmly. Thank you for your compliment, Professor Chen. Tonight is a free night. After the performance, do you want me to treat you to supper? Chen Xia asked. Huang Ling shook her head. I have an appointment. Seems like I'm late for a date with a beauty. Huang Ling just smiled and said nothing. The passers-by were all looking at them. Is the person who asked you out your classmate or your boyfriend? In this university, dating could be done openly. The school would not force the students who were in a relationship to do any ideological work. Boyfriend, Huang Ling said. Disappointment flashed across Chen Xiao's eyes. So she had a boyfriend, then I won't disturb you. Chen Xia did not want to stay any longer. Looking at Chen Xiao's disappearing figure, Huang Ling was puzzled. What was going on? This Professor Chen Xia, did he like her? What did Chen Xia say to you? Maupassant walked to Huang Ling after the performance and asked in a low voice. Maupassant's appearance attracted the attention of many students. They really envied Huang Ling for being able to let Coach Mo talk to her at such a close distance. They all knew that Coach Mo would only say a few more words to girls during training. When he was not training, he would not talk to any girls. Huang Ling raised her eyes and looked at Maupassant. Can you take me to supper? Chapter 1183. Maupassant said with a smile, Okay, what do you want to eat? Huang Ling smiled sweetly, anything is fine, as long as you are with me. A city's seafood is very famous, why don't we go eat seafood? Maupassant asked. Okay. As long as she could be with him, it didn't matter what Huang Ling ate. They came to a seafood restaurant called Lin Feng Pavilion to eat seafood. The table was full of seafood, and Huang Ling was very happy to eat. Maupassant looked at Huang Ling, who was as happy as a child, his eyes full of tenderness. Why didn't you tell me that you were going to perform at a party? He asked gently. I wanted to give you a surprise. Huang Ling ate with relish, as if she didn't have time to pay attention to him. The dress you are wearing is very beautiful. Huang Ling, when I saw you walk out of the stage, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. Did you not believe that I have such a beautiful side? Huang Ling raised her head and looked at Maupassant with a smile. No, I thought there was a fairy who looked like you who came down to earth. Brother Mo, I am very happy that you praise me like this. Huang Ling was really happy. I recorded it, I will copy it into a disc when I go back, and I will make a poster of it and put it in our new house. You recorded it. Let me see if it's really as beautiful as you said. As soon as she heard that he recorded it, Huang Ling quickly put down her chopsticks, took out a tissue and wiped her hands, and asked Maupassant for the phone. Maupassant opened the video and handed the phone to her. Huang Ling took it and looked at it with a smile. Needless to say, Huang Ling was also amazed by the hostess in the video. She stared and said exaggeratedly, "Oh my God, is it really me? Am I so beautiful?" No, 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 this is not me, brother Mo, this is not me. How am I so beautiful? They all say that my appearance is not outstanding, but the woman in the video is like a fairy, beautiful enough to topple a city. Maupassant was amused by her words, and the man's laughter was clear and pleasant, full of magnetism. He looked at Huang Ling tenderly and curled his lips. His handsome face had a charming smile as he said in a magnetic voice, "That's because they don't know how to appreciate it. You're good at distinguishing. As for other women, I feel that their faces are all the same. They're so silly that they can't tell the difference." Huang Ling looked up and glanced at Mo Polisan. "Are you talking about the internet celebrity?" She felt that the faces of all the internet celebrities were all the same. "I don't know what they are, I don't pay attention to them." She didn't pay attention to them. She didn't believe it. Which man wouldn't take a few more glances at a beautiful woman? "Why did you change your dress? Isn't it nice to wear it?" Maupassant asked. "It's too eye-catching. You know that I like to keep a low profile. Tonight, wear it for me." Maupassant's eyes flashed with a sly look. "No problem, if you like it, I'll wear it for you." "It was made by Song Wuyo, wasn't it?" "Yes, she sent it over to me." "Right, I want to send this video to Wuyo so that she can see how suitable the dress she made for me is." With that, Huang Ling sent the video to Song Wuyo. However, Song Wuyo did not reply immediately. She was not in a hurry either. Looking at the photos taken by Maupassant, she asked curiously, "Why is it only mine?" Maupassant raised his brow. "Do you want me to take photos of someone else?" "Zhou Ruochuan, you look pretty dressed up tonight. In my heart, you are the most beautiful. Brother Mo, you have such a sweet mouth. I like it." Huang Ling smiled. Chapter 1184. If you like it, kiss it more. Only then will it be happy. Ambiguous. Huang Ling scolded with a smile. "Huang Ling, tonight is the school's free night." Maupassant looked at Huang Ling with a faint smile and said meaningfully, "I know. We can play until late tonight, or even spend the night outside. The school doesn't care." Huang Ling said. "Then let's spend the night outside," Maupassant said. Huang Ling chuckled. "I think all the hotels nearby have been booked." Because it was free night, and many third and fourth year students had already fallen in love, tonight was their romantic night for a date. The hotel nearby, the hotel, had been booked the week before. "Do you like to stay in a hotel or a hotel?" Maupassant smiled. "I don't like it. Even if it's a star hotel, I feel that the bed inside is not as clean as my own bed. Well, we only have our own place to spend the night tonight." When Huang Ling heard this, she looked at Maupassant in surprise. "You don't have a house in a city, do you?" Dijiangnan. Dijiangnan. Isn't that a high-end neighborhood? And it's very close to the school. Maupassant smiled softly and looked at her. "Well, the house is a little small, only 90 square meters. When did you buy it?" Huang Ling's face was drooling. "Brother Mo, you're very rich." "I have to be rich. If I'm not rich, how can I give my Huang Ling a good life? Maupassant pointed at the seafood on the table with his chin. Do you think eating seafood doesn't cost money? It costs money, it costs money. Huang Ling suddenly ate fiercely. She wanted to finish eating quickly and go see Maupassant's house as soon as possible. Damn, why didn't you say you had a house in Dijiangnan? Seeing her eating so quickly, Maupassant was also anxious. He was not in a hurry to eat, but worried that Huang Ling eating too quickly was not good for her stomach. He advised, eat slowly. Don't wolf it down. Be careful not to choke. I want to go back and see your house as soon as possible. It's our house, Maupassant corrected her. Huang Ling's heart warmed when she heard that. The warmth spread throughout her entire heart. She looked at Maupassant with sparkling eyes. Is my name on the property certificate? Only your name. Oh, I'm so touched. Huang Ling gently covered her chest and looked sweetly at Maupassant. Brother Mo, I feel very comfortable here. Maupassant looked at her hand. She was covering her heart, but it was also a part of her chest. Is it really comfortable? Let me see. Maupassant smiled seductively. You can't see it, you can only feel it. Who says you can't see it? You can even touch it. Dirty. I'm not eating anymore. I'm too full. You can pay the bill first. I'm going to the bathroom. Huang Ling got up. Maupassant looked at her dotingly. Okay, I'll wait for you to come back. As soon as Huang Ling left, Aina appeared. Aina was wearing a red dress. It was tight at the waist and wrapped her figure tightly. She was tall and had a curvaceous figure. She didn't look like a strict coach, but a charming woman full of femininity. She stood beside Maupassant and looked down at Maupassant, who was looking up at her. Maupassant raised his eyebrows. You're not following me, are you? What a coincidence. She was also here to eat seafood. The seafood in a city was very famous, and this was not the only famous seafood restaurant. Maupassant had been here for so long, but he hadn't seen any teachers or students from the school come here to eat seafood. As soon as Huang Ling left, Aina arrived. Maupassant suspected that Aina was following them. You can think of it that way. Aina flipped her hair and smiled charmingly. Chapter 1185. Pestering women will only make you hate them. Maupassant lowered his gaze and said indifferently. Aina said without minding, I'm not pestering you. Seeing that you're eating seafood here, as a colleague, I should go up and say hello. Isn't that rude? Aina glanced at the dining table. You're really good to her. She's my woman. If I'm not good to her, who should I be good to? Her performance tonight was outstanding. Maupassant smiled. She's always been so outstanding. Seems like you only see her as a woman. You don't see other women. Indeed. What about Li Xinxin? When Maupassant heard this, he raised his head and looked at Aina with a "you're funny" look. Li Xinxin. Is she half as good as Huang Ling? Aina smiled elegantly. I heard from Grandpa that you're going to marry Li Xinxin. Maupassant's grandpa liked Aina a lot and treated her as his own granddaughter. Therefore, Aina affectionately called him Grandpa. That's because I haven't met Huang Ling yet. Maupassant said indifferently. Is Huang Ling really that important to you? Maupassant did not reply. Huang Ling was important to him. He did not need to tell anyone. This was especially true for irrelevant women. Can I sit down and eat with you guys? Aina asked. Maupassant smiled faintly. Miss Aina, you can't even afford a meal of seafood. You're right. I really can't afford it. I'm going to find a man to support me. With that said, Aina threw herself into Maupassant's arms. Maupassant, who had extremely fast reflexes, jumped up instinctively. But because of the distance between the chair and the dining table, he bumped into the table when he got up. The table shook and he was pinned down on the chair by Aina, who had pounced on him. Aina's entire body was sitting on his lap. Aina was very skilled. Before Maupassant could send her flying, she used her arms to lift Maupassant's neck and pressed her lips against his. Maupassant shuddered as a wave of nausea washed over him. He reached out to push Aina, but in Huang Ling's eyes, he was hugging Aina's waist. Aina, on the other hand, was hooking her arms around his neck. They were kissing. Huang Ling saw Aina throw herself at Maupassant, and she also saw Maupassant's fierce opposition. But when Aina kissed him, all his movements stopped. At this moment, Huang Ling felt as if her heart was being torn apart. She felt a sharp pain. She stood there and looked at them. She wanted to see if Maupassant would reject a woman who offered herself to him. Maupassant turned his face away, avoiding Aina's kiss. Then, he saw Huang Ling standing in front of him. A hint of panic flashed across his eyes. His face instantly darkened and became extremely cold. He did not know where he got the strength from, but he pushed Aina away. Aina had achieved her goal and did not continue. She licked her lips and smiled. "Your lips feel good." Maupassant glared at her coldly. He was very angry. Then, he walked towards Huang Ling. "Huang Ling, let me explain, no need." Huang Ling was unhappy, but she did not show it on her face. She gave Maupassant a reassuring smile. Then, through his tall figure, she looked at Aina, who was standing behind him, and said, "Someone tried to break us up. She took the initiative to throw herself at you and made me misunderstand you. Unfortunately, I trusted you so much that I went crazy. So, you don't have to explain. I know what is going on." Chapter 1186. Upon hearing this, Maupassant heaved a sigh of relief. He held Huang Ling's hand and said helplessly, "Huang Ling, it's all Brother Mo's fault. I'm too handsome, and there's always a witch who wants to sleep with me." Huang Ling was originally in a bad mood, but when she heard what he said, she almost burst out laughing. She raised her eyes and looked at Maupassant seriously. "So, you have to watch your pants and control your brother." Maupassant nodded solemnly. "Of course. My brother only raises his head for you." Huang Ling did not say anything else and walked past Maupassant to Aina. She crossed her arms and looked at Aina with a naughty look. "Is it exciting to steal a man?" Aina looked at her elegantly. "Men are like cats. In this world, there's no cat that doesn't eat fish." She glanced at Maupassant and smiled charmingly. "He's the same. Sorry, my cat's genes have changed. He doesn't eat fish and only eats my only cat food. You'd better save it. Don't make a fool of yourself. It'll be very embarrassing." Aina looked at Huang Ling disapprovingly. "You're saving it because you're afraid that my charm will steal your man away, right?" Huang Ling nodded calmly. "I'm a little afraid, but I don't agree with you saying that you're charming. You're so strong, my man doesn't like you. My man likes girls who are less than 1.68 meters tall. You're 1.78 meters tall, right? If you want to get my man's favor, I advise you to amputate or something to make yourself shorter." Maupassant walked up and hugged Huang Ling. He said gently, "Huang Ling, don't try to reason with different creatures. It'll only be a waste of time. Let's go back. I want to brush my teeth and rinse my mouth." Huang Ling rolled her eyes at him. "I told you to be careful and not to eat anything, but you didn't listen. Now you've eaten something disgusting and want to brush your teeth, right?" "I didn't eat anything disgusting, but my lips were touched by something disgusting." "Hurry up, let's go back. He picked up Huang Ling's bag, took Huang Ling's hand and quickly left the seafood restaurant. Huang Ling asked anxiously, has the money been paid? I'll give it to him tomorrow. Are you familiar with the boss? Yes. Looking at their departing figures, Aina curled her lips in amusement. She took out her phone and dialed a number. It seems a little difficult to break them up. What can we do? All right, I got it. Wait for my good news. In the Hummer. Huang Ling was depressed. Even when she returned to Jiangnan, Huang Ling was still in a bad mood. When she thought of the scene of Aina kissing Maupassant, her heart felt especially uncomfortable. It was stuffy, as if it was being pressed down by a stone. Maupassant, who was driving, sensed her unhappiness but did not explain it to her. Sometimes, the more he explained, the more the other party would misunderstand. The only thing he could do was to love her more and let her know that he only loved her. They entered their new house. It was hardbound, modern, and simple. It was 90 square meters, but it did not seem narrow. It was fully furnished, and the floor was covered with expensive carpets. Huang Ling walked in under Maupassant's lead. She only glanced at it indifferently, without the joy she had when she heard that he had bought a house here. Maupassant changed his shoes, closed the door, and hugged her from behind. He asked in a deep voice, "Are you unhappy?" Huang Ling said in a bad mood, "Didn't you say you wanted to brush your teeth?" "Why, can't bear to brush that smell away." When Maupassant heard that, he quickly let go of her and surrendered. Go, go, go. I'll go right away. Chapter 1187. Humph. Huang Ling snorted. Seeing that Maupassant didn't brush his teeth as soon as he came back, she felt even more unhappy. Maupassant walked into the bathroom with great familiarity and brushed his teeth over and over again. Outside, Huang Ling received Song Wuyo's reply. They were chatting on WeChat. Song Wuyo, Huang Ling, you're so beautiful. Maupassant must be very happy, right? Huang Ling, men are all lecherous. Their eyes like to stare at beautiful women. Maupassant is no exception. Song Wuyo, it's all thanks to me that you can play as Shaqing so skillfully. Huang Ling, so you're here to take credit. Song Wuyo, what are you going to repay me with? Huang Ling, I don't want to repay you with anything. I'm in a bad mood. Song Wuyo, Maupassant didn't see your performance. No, wait, you used his account to send me a WeChat message. Huang Ling, Wuyo, there's a woman from France who's a coach at a military school. She's very fierce and hateful. She kissed my man when I wasn't around. Song Wuyo, don't tell me she's here for Maupassant. Huang Ling, of course. She seems to be very familiar with Maupassant and knows him very well. Song Wuyo, Maupassant didn't reject her kiss. Huang Ling, when I saw her, he didn't reject her. Song Wuyo, Huang Ling, Wuyo, there are so many women who like Haozi, but why haven't any of them succeeded in kissing him? Song Wuyo, it's because he has an unapproachable expression on his face. Those women who secretly like him can only look at him from afar. They don't dare to get close to him. Huang Ling, there must be a few women who aren't afraid of death, right? Song Wuyo, those women who aren't afraid of death are probably all dead. Huang Ling, Wuyo, I really hate this Aina. She knows that Maupassant has a woman he likes, yet she still tries to seduce him. Song Wuyo, I believe that Maupassant won't like a woman you hate. Huang Ling said, he doesn't like her, but she likes him. Song Wuyo, that's other people's business, you have to trust him. Huang Ling, believe me, if a man likes you in bed, his soul will be hooked by you. Huang Ling. What kind of solution is this? I can't chat with you anymore, he's coming out. Hearing the sound of the bathroom door opening, Huang Ling put her phone aside, turned around, and looked at Maupassant. His face was wet, which made Maupassant even sexier. Huang Ling's face was dark and unhappy. Maupassant went up and hugged her. "Are you still angry?" Huang Ling pushed him away and said sullenly, "I'm not angry. It's just that when I think about how you didn't push Aina away and let her kiss you, my heart hurts." Maupassant said, "I wanted to push her away. Your hand was on her waist. Is that pushing her away?" Maupassant stared at her. "So, you don't believe me?" Huang Ling chuckled. "She hugged me and kissed me. Next time, will I see her sleeping with me?" "It's not that I don't believe you, but you don't know how to reject her. Whether she hugged you or kissed you, you didn't reject her." Huang Ling looked at Maupassant. "You haven't been with her before, but you can't reject her hugs and kisses. Will you fall in love with her in the future?" "Huang Ling, there's a limit to how much you can eat. Don't doubt my feelings for you." Maupassant held Huang Ling's face and looked at her deeply. "Be good. Don't be angry over an irrelevant woman, okay?" Chapter 1188. The way he looked at her was always so tender, as though they were the only ones in the entire world. The tone he used to speak to her was always filled with tolerance. Huang Ling knew that even if she was being unreasonable, he would coax her the same way. He treated her like a little girl and took care of her in his palms. Huang Ling was truly touched by this. She nearly listened to him and stopped messing around. However, her mind could not help but recall the scene of Aina kissing him at the seafood restaurant. She pursed her lips and looked as though she was about to cry. She looked at Maupassant faintly and said, "You think that Aina is an irrelevant woman, but I don't think so. She even kissed my man on the lips. How can I treat her as an irrelevant woman?" Maupassant looked at her. "Huang Ling, this might be a test of our relationship. Don't be angry." "Test how? Do we still need to test our relationship?" Huang Ling pushed Maupassant away and said angrily, "No matter what, I'm really unhappy right now. Don't talk to me." Maupassant smiled. "I can't not talk to you. Seeing you unhappy makes me unhappy as well. If it were you and you saw a man kissing me, what would you do?" Huang Ling looked at Maupassant angrily. "I would hit him." Maupassant smiled. "You men can use violence to solve things, but we women can't." "Why not? When Aina goes overboard with me, you can hit her too." Huang Ling pursed her lips. "I can't beat her. She's more than a head taller than me, and she's so buff. If she were to slap over, Huang Ling believed that she would be sent flying." "All right, don't be unhappy." Maupassant hugged her once more and said with a deep voice, "Let's go shower." Huang Ling raised her head and looked at Maupassant. "You want to sleep with me tonight?" Maupassant smiled seductively. "You can also sleep with me." When Huang Ling heard this, she knew what was going to happen tonight. Her face instantly turned red. Maupassant had taken 3 days off for Huang Ling. Last night, although he didn't manage to do it 7 times in one night, he managed to do it 3 times. He was very satisfied with Huang Ling's performance and her ability to endure. After 3 times in one night, he came again in the afternoon. Very good, she didn't faint like the first time. After enduring for so long and being hungry for so long, Maupassant didn't hold back and fought a few rounds. Especially this time at noon, they fought from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Huang Ling was so tired that she couldn't even get out of bed. After he was done, he lay on the bed with the sweaty woman in his arms. Huang Ling was so tired that her eyelids felt heavy. Even though she closed her eyes, her mind was clear. That was because the scenes of them rolling in bed kept appearing in her mind. Maupassant turned his body and looked at the woman in his arms. Her face was flushed red and her body was imprinted with the kiss marks he left for her. His gaze was deep as he said in a deep voice, "Seems like the training for the past half a month wasn't in vain." Huang Ling merely fanned her long eyelashes gently and didn't reply. "Do you want to shower?" Huang Ling shook her head. She was so tired that she didn't want to move. "I'll help you apply for leave. You'll rest at home for the next 3 days." Maupassant played with Huang Ling's long hair that was stuck to her shoulder. "Yes." Huang Ling replied softly. It was best that she didn't have to go to school. "What do you want to eat?" Huang Ling's eyelashes quivered and she opened her eyes. In her eyes, the ambiguous taste had yet to dissipate. She looked at him. "Aren't you tired?" Chapter 1189. He looked over and saw that she was in good spirits. Her mouth and eyes were filled with a satisfied smile. Maupassant smiled wantonly. "I'm full. How can I be tired? What kind of creature is that?" Huang Ling was speechless. It was not fair. He was the one who moved and she was the one who enjoyed it. Why was she so tired while he was getting stronger? Was he a beast? "I love your anger." Maupassant nibbled on her red and swollen lips. His voice was deep and seductive. "Are you hungry?" "Yes." After being tormented by him, it would be strange if she was not hungry. "Shall I cook noodles for you?" Maupassant raised his eyebrows. "Okay." Huang Ling nodded. "I'll cook the noodles. You rest for a while." Maupassant let go of her and got up. "Okay." Huang Ling nodded again. Maupassant went out of the bedroom. Huang Ling seemed to have regained her freedom as she lay on the bed with her arms and legs spread out. Sleeping like this with her limbs spread out was so comfortable. She looked at the luxurious crystal chandelier on the ceiling. The images in her mind were like a movie. Maupassant's figure, naked body, satisfied handsome face, evil smile, the expression on his face as he straddled her kept appearing in her mind. He was great. Huang Ling's face showed a hint of shyness. Every time she thought about how he would bring her to the top, her heart would throb and skip a beat. She could bear his might now. When she took the initiative, he was very satisfied. On the bed, Maupassant was really like a beast. He kissed her all over her body and did not even let go of that place. Huang Ling's finger gently moved there. The feeling when he kissed her there was the most wonderful feeling. She liked and coveted this feeling. Now that she felt that feeling, there was a feeling. She suddenly wanted to, Huang Ling covered her face with both hands. "Evil, evil, I've become an evil woman." She was so tired that she was still thinking about that. Woo woo. She turned over and hugged Maupassant's pillow. The pillow, with his smell, smelled very good. She sucked hard as if she was addicted to drugs and could finally take a puff. That satisfied look on her face was really asking for a beating. "Momo, I'm addicted to your smell." Huang Ling hugged the pillow tightly. "What should I do? I love you so much. Beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder. Momo, why do you look more and more beautiful? Even your younger brother is so handsome, ha ha ha." Huang Ling talked to herself and buried her face in the pillow from time to time, laughing happily. So what if she's evil? Only an evil woman can perform well in bed. That way, she can make men fall head over heels for her. Ha ha ha. Maupassant, who was only wearing a bath towel, came in and saw her face buried in the pillow, talking and laughing. His deep eyes contained a soft smile. He went forward and pulled her up. Huang Ling was naked and was pulled up by him. Her beautiful breasts were displayed in front of Maupassant just like that. Even without underwear, her breasts were still so firm and round. The top part of her breasts was so pink that it made people drool. Maupassant's throat tightened and he had the urge to lean over and suck on that flower bud. Huang Ling raised her head and saw his sexy Adam's apple moving up and down. Huang Ling stood up and Maupassant hugged her waist. She moved her mouth and bit his Adam's apple. It wasn't heavy, but there was a hint of pain. This pain instantly ignited Maupassant's jade fire, causing his blood to boil and flow backward. Huang Ling felt him shudder and asked with a smile, "Do you like me like this?" Chapter 1190. Feeling him shudder, Huang Ling chuckled and asked, "Do you like me like this?" Maupassant suppressed the raging fire in his body and asked with a hoarse voice, "Weren't you so tired that you didn't want to move?" Huang Ling giggled. "When I think about how much I love you, I'm instantly reinvigorated." As she spoke, Huang Ling imitated his action of tearing her clothes and roughly ripped off the towel around his waist. She then raised her arm and threw the towel to the ground on the other side of the bed. Huang Ling lowered her head to take a look. She laughed evilly. She looked at Maupassant seductively. "Momo, do you like it?" Maupassant suppressed his emotions as his facial muscles tightened up. The reason why he was suppressing himself and not pouncing on her immediately was because he wanted to see what tricks she would come up with. To be honest, her performance in bed was unfamiliar. However, she had to take the initiative. That look of hers had a pure charm that made Maupassant's heart itch and his skin itch. "If you don't say it, I'll take it as a yes." Huang Ling kissed him from his neck down slowly. "Ah!" In the end, Maupassant could not hold it in any longer and gasped out a mouthful of cold air. This woman had come to his forbidden ground and was wantonly stirring and sucking in his forbidden ground. "Woman, you asked for it." Maupassant's entire body was ignited by this woman. Neither her hands nor her mouth could satisfy him. He lifted this woman up with both hands and sat on the bed. The man moved his body and kissed her crazily. That crazy look of his made Huang Ling feel a little scared. Her breath was taken away. An hour later, Huang Ling sat at the dining table and ate the noodles that Maupassant had cooked for her. Huang Ling's face was really, really red. Maupassant, who was sitting opposite her, had a charming smile as he ate his noodles and looked at her. The two of them took a simple shower and put on their pajamas. The entire room was filled with an ambiguous atmosphere. Maupassant gave Huang Ling the meat in the bowl and said with a smile, "Eat more meat." Huang Ling felt that this sentence had a hint of perversion. She looked up and glanced at Maupassant. Beast! To be able to maintain the posture of sitting on the bed for an hour, how strong! Huang Ling felt like she had been tossed up and down by him for an hour. She could still feel her body moving up and down. "Why are you looking at me like that?" Huang Ling finally couldn't bear it anymore. She couldn't stand Maupassant's charming eyes. "You look very beautiful like this," Maupassant said. "Am I more beautiful like this, or when I'm naked?" "Just as beautiful." "Your answer is so official." "Everyone has their own beauty, but the result is the same." "They are all beautiful." Huang Ling raised the corner of her mouth. "Actually, you're more handsome when you're naked. In the future, I'll take off my clothes when I sleep beside you. We'll sleep naked together." "Okay." Huang Ling blushed, but she answered readily. Maupassant looked at Huang Ling. "Huang Ling, do you know why I love you so much?" Huang Ling nodded. She wanted to laugh but didn't. She said one word, "Tight." "Ha!" Maupassant laughed heartily. "Which virgin doesn't get tight?" "Then it's my exquisite figure that's bewitching you." After giving birth and getting older, a woman's figure will more or less change. "Then what do you like about me?" Personality, not pretentious. In front of me, you're bold, open, and honest. I like your initiative just now. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Momo, don't praise me. My tail will stand up. Chapter 1191. Stick it up. I want to see how your tail looks like too. Are you going to accompany me today? Yeah, I'm going back to the army tomorrow. How many days? Huang Ling was a little disappointed. She had 3 days off. He couldn't accompany her, I don't know. Maupassant looked at Huang Ling, it's not easy to be a military wife. You have to learn to take care of yourself when I'm not by your side. Huang Ling nodded. Yeah, don't worry. I'll find entertainment to enrich myself when you're not by my side. Let's have a good rest after eating the noodles. We'll fight again tonight. Huang Ling smiled. Okay, let's fight a few rounds tonight. Huang Ling thought that after Maupassant returned to the army, she would be bored staying in the new house. Unexpectedly, after Maupassant returned to the army, a rare guest came looking for her in the afternoon. He was Maupassant's father. Huang Ling was shocked when she heard that the other party was Maupassant's father. Huang Ling didn't know what to do. She was afraid that her cooking would be too bad and leave a bad impression on her future father-in-law. In the end, they spent their lunchtime at a restaurant. Maupassant's father, Mo Jinkai, didn't look like Maupassant at all. The only thing they had in common was the hostility and coldness he exuded. His eyes were very sharp. It made Huang Ling's heart tremble. Huang Ling didn't know if it was an illusion or if she was too nervous and overthinking. She felt that Maupassant's father looked at her with a picky and disdainful gaze. When they were ordering, she asked him what he liked to eat. He replied casually, anything. She didn't dare to say much and just ordered whatever she liked. She deliberately chose some delicious dishes. When the dishes were served, he didn't eat much. How long have you known Poisson? Mo Jinkai looked at Huang Ling with a sharp gaze. More than a year, Huang Ling answered obediently. When did you start dating? Over the past 6 months. So, you two have known each other for half a year before falling in love. Yes, we didn't have any private affairs in the beginning. Do you know Poisson's status in Country L? Mo Jinkai asked coldly. Huang Ling nodded. I know. I heard that he's like a regent. Even the emperor has to act according to his mood. But because of you, he fell out with the emperor. Although he's not from L country, I'm from L country. He actually came to K country for you. What's the difference between this and marrying you? When Huang Ling heard this, her heart skipped a beat. She looked up and glanced at Mo Jinkai. Seeing his sharp gaze, she quickly lowered her head and avoided his gaze. Mo Jinkai's gaze turned cold. Are you afraid of me? Huang Ling nodded. Because you are Maupassant's father. You don't have to be so reserved. I don't care about your performance. I heard that you're a divorced woman. Huang Ling knew that she couldn't lie. She nodded. Yes. Do you know that Poisson is a perfect man? Mo Jinkai glanced at the hickeys on Huang Ling's face and chin. I know. Before he met you, he liked Li Xinxin. Of course, we don't like Li Xinxin because she's not good. Huang Ling said softly, I know Li Xinxin. She's not good and dared to kill. You're in the military academy now. Have you met Aina? Mo Jinkai was always the one asking, and Huang Ling was the one answering. Huang Ling looked up and carefully glanced at Mo Jinkai. We met. She's our coach. Chapter 1192. Aina is a good child. Whether it's her physique or her family background, she's a good match for the Mo family. Huang Ling's heart skipped a beat. She was not an idiot. If she still did not know what Mo Jinkai was trying to say, she might as well jump off a building. She pursed her lips, raised her head, and looked at Mo Jinkai bravely. Mo Jinkai was a man with a strong aura. From his aura, she could tell that he was very powerful in the military when he was young. I've already thoroughly investigated your situation. You're a very ordinary woman. Your ex-husband is Migu, the man who used his power as the president to kill innocent people. Other than being the president's wife, you're just a girl who works in a bar. You don't want me to be with Mo Policin, do you? Huang Ling boldly asked what was on her mind. Mo Jinkai raised his eyebrows slightly and looked at Huang Ling sternly. I want you to leave my son. Huang Ling's expression changed slightly. She was very unhappy. She gathered her courage and looked at Mo Jinkai. You're looking down on me because I'm not compatible with the Mo family, right? You're a divorced woman. Migu and I did get a marriage certificate, but we didn't do the deed. I don't care if you did the deed. Please leave my son. Mo Jinkai said slowly. You want me to leave your son? Have you asked him? Huang Ling knew that Mo Jinkai did not like her, so she was not so reserved. As long as you leave him, he will marry Aina in the future. So, Aina really came to the military academy for Maupassant. Didn't Maupassant say that his family liked her a lot? He also said that he would arrange for her to meet his family when he was free. Maupassant, this bastard, he was lying to her. Maupassant doesn't love Aina. Huang Ling said with certainty. As long as he doesn't marry you, I don't care who he loves. Huang Ling smiled. Without me, what if he falls in love with a beggar or a homeless girl? When Mo Jinkai heard this, his expression showed displeasure. He said sternly, Poisson is not such a blind man. Huang Ling smiled bitterly. He is such a blind man. Huang Ling indifferently looked at Mo Jinkai and said, before he fell in love with me, he liked Li Xinxin. Li Xinxin is not a devastatingly beautiful woman. Other than having the identity of a princess, what does she have? Killing without blinking, vicious and merciless. Later, he fell in love with me. You said it yourself, I didn't have a family background, my looks weren't outstanding, and I was a remarried woman. I mingled in society for a few years, and in the end, it was because of him that I experienced university life. Otherwise, before this, I would still be a woman with a high school diploma. As for Aina, maybe my taste is not good. I think she is a tomboy. No matter how I look at her, she is ugly. If Maupassant left me and fell in love with Aina, do you dare to say that he has good taste? No, it seems that you don't understand your son's heart at all. He is actually a blind man with bad taste. Mo Jinkai raised his eyebrows and looked sternly at Huang Ling. You dare to say that I don't understand Poisson's heart? Huang Ling said indifferently, if you understood, would you still come here and ask me to leave him? You were afraid of me just now, and now you are not. Mo Jinkai disliked this Huang Ling even more. When she was afraid of him, she looked submissive and was not likable at all. When she was not afraid, she was like a wild cat that would bite at any time. She was not docile at all, which made her even more unlikable. Chapter 1193. I'm not afraid of you. I respect you because you're Maupassant's father. Since you respect me, please leave Maupassant. Don't affect his future. I'm not affecting his future. I've never interfered with his career. He already gave up L country and came to K country. Isn't that affecting his future? Mo Jinkai was angry. Huang Ling gritted her teeth. I didn't ask him to come to K country. I was planning to live in L country. He suddenly applied to come to K country. What can I do? You can leave him and he'll naturally return to L country. That's your one-sided decision. I need to ask him. If he agrees to let me leave him, I'll leave. Huang Ling looked at Mo Jingkai. You're not him and you're not me. You can't understand our love. You don't know how painful it is for a couple to be separated. I love Maupassant. I can't bear to let him suffer the pain of being heartbroken. Unless he doesn't love me anymore and tells me to break up with him, I'll leave him. If he doesn't love me, he won't be happy with me. Because I love him, I don't want him to be unhappy. So, I'll listen to whatever he says. As for you, I won't care about anything you say. How dare you talk to me like this? Mo Jingkai looked at Huang Ling coldly. Aina has never dared to talk to me like this in front of me. I'm different from her. Don't always compare me to her. It only makes me think that you're a shallow man. Aina obviously has to be obedient in front of you so that you'll like her and acknowledge her as your daughter-in-law. But I'm different. It doesn't matter to me if you don't like me. As long as Maupassant likes me, it's fine. Huang Ling took her bag and took out her wallet. Then, she took out a stack of cash and placed it on the table. Seeing her actions, Mo Jingkai's expression darkened. Huang Ling smiled brightly at him. Uncle, talking about this topic with you makes everyone unhappy. I think we should end this topic. Also, this is the key to Maupassant's house. You can stay there while you're in a city. I'll go back to school. This meal is on me. Take it as your future daughter-in-law being filial to you. As she spoke, Huang Ling got up and looked deeply at the unhappy Mo Jingkai. Uncle, don't think that my attitude is bad or that I'm not gentle enough. That's just how I am. If someone likes me, I'll like them even more. If they don't like me, I will dislike them as much as they dislike me. I hate to stick my hot face to the other person's cold ass. If you really can't accept me, go find your son and preach to him. Convince him to hate me and despise me. I will naturally leave him. After that, Huang Ling took her bag and strode out of the restaurant. Mo Jingkai looked at her resolute back view. His entire face was extremely cold. That's right, he was infuriated by Huang Ling's words and attitude. When he came, he thought that Huang Ling would cry and call his son to complain or something after hearing what he said. He didn't expect that she would turn the tables around and ask him to persuade his son to hate her and despise her. What an arrogant girl. Mo Jingkai's sharp gaze became deeper and deeper. His gaze also became colder and harsher. He didn't like Huang Ling at all. After Huang Ling left the restaurant, she didn't go back to the apartment. Instead, she went back to the dormitory. At this time, her classmates had all gone to class. She was alone on the bed in the dormitory, thinking about things unhappily. Chapter 1194. Mo Bosan's father disliked her so much and despised her. Was Huang Ling's identity really that ordinary? She was living under the guise of Huang Ling, but deep down, she had Ban Chang's ruthlessness. She wasn't weak, and she wouldn't act obedient just because the other party was the father of the man she loved. She couldn't do that. Moreover, the other party didn't like her. Damn it, was Huang Ling's identity really that bad? At the end of the day, she was the real daughter of Ban Dekang. Her father was the good president that the world was talking about. Huang Ling was furious. Maupassant's father actually didn't like her. How infuriating. She was going to sue him. She called Maupassant, but his phone was switched off. He was busy. She sent him a voice message on WeChat. Brother Mo, your father is here. He told me a lot. He said that I'm just an ordinary woman and I'm not worthy of you. He even said that I'll affect your future. He said that if you come to K country to be with me, you'll be marrying into K country. He asked me to leave you. I said that I couldn't do it. If that's the case, let him tell you. If you hate me or dislike me, just tell me. Don't hold it in. Uncle, don't worry. If you hate me or dislike me, I'll leave you immediately. Also, Uncle isn't as handsome as you. Finish complaining. She said it all in one breath and then sent the message with a Z sound. Even though her whole body was in pain, Huang Ling didn't feel sleepy at all. Boo-hoo. That old man actually disapproved of her being with his son. A love that wasn't approved by the elders was really pitiful. Huang Ling pursed her lips and looked like she was about to cry. She didn't know if Brother Mo would really hate and dislike her one day. Could it be that men, in the end, would really like gentle and refined women? Huang Ling fell asleep as she thought about it. She was really tired. Maupassant was like a beast, grinding her to death. Originally, they were having a good rest in their new house. Who knew that Maupassant's father would come? He must have come to a city without telling Maupassant. Huang Ling. Huang Ling was woken up by Su Lingling. Huang Ling opened her eyes, and there was a flash of confusion in her eyes. She thought that the person who woke her up was Maupassant. She was used to it. When he saw Su Lingling's face and the scene in the dormitory, he finally remembered where she was. Aren't you sick? Su Lingling stood by the bed and looked at Huang Ling with concern. Are you okay? Sick. Maupassant helped her apply for a 3-day leave. The reason was that she was sick. Huang Ling struggled to sit up. She was not sick, but her whole body was aching. Su Lingling saw this and quickly bent down to help her up. What happened? Is it so difficult to get out of bed? I have a high fever and I feel weak all over, Huang Ling lied. Didn't you leave with Coach Mo after the gala? The students were all talking about you guys going on a date, Su Lingling said. Huang Ling pursed her lips. Do you think Coach Mo will go on a date with me? I don't think so. Coach Mo has a girlfriend. But, where did you go that night? We just left the school together. My best friend came over and we ate seafood together. Who knew that I was allergic to seafood? I had a high fever and was hospitalized. Huang Ling looked pitiful. She didn't look like she was lying at all, but every word she said was made up. Sigh, how many lies do people have to tell in their lives? Su Lingling nodded as if she understood. Oh, so that's how it is. Chapter 1195. Okay. Huang Ling lowered her eyes and said to Su Lingling weakly, Class rep, can you get me a glass of water? If she wanted to pretend, she had to pretend. Su Lingling smiled considerately. Okay, sit here. I'll get you a glass of warm water. Huang Ling nodded. Thank you, Class Republic. Su Lingling poured Huang Ling a glass of water. Huang Ling pretended to be thirsty and gulped it down. Not long after, she finished the cup of water. Su Lingling took the empty glass and asked, Do you want more? Huang Ling shook her head listlessly. No, thank you. Su Lingling smiled. We're all classmates and adults. Why are you being so polite? Huang Ling looked up at Su Lingling. Do I not have to be polite now that I'm an adult? No, what I mean is that we're already in university. It's fate that we're classmates. We understand friendship better than primary school students. If you're not feeling well, it's only right that I get you a glass of water. Classmates should take care of each other. You don't have to be so polite. If I'm not feeling well one day, I believe you'll get me a glass of water too. Huang Ling smiled gently. I will. I'll definitely get you a glass of water. Su Lingling put the glass of water away and returned. She asked with concern, You haven't eaten, right? Do you want me to go to the cafeteria to buy some food for you? No, I don't have an appetite now. I'll lie down for a while more. I'll go and eat something before the cafeteria closes, said Huang Ling. Okay then. Have a good rest. I came back to get some sanitary pads. I still have to go to the theory class. Professor Chen's class is very interesting. The students are fighting to be the first to listen. Then, Su Lingling went to the cupboard and opened it. She took out a few sanitary pads and put them in her pocket. Then, she waved at Huang Ling, I'm going to the class. Have a good rest and drink more water, okay? Okay. Huang Ling nodded. After Su Lingling left, Huang Ling's sickly look quickly turned into a helpless look. Lying, acting, why did she feel that she was good at everything? She did not want to train or attend classes. She only wanted to fall in love. She wanted to continue pretending to be sick. She lay back on the bed and took out her phone to check. Maupassant hadn't called her back or sent her a message. He suddenly felt a sense of loss and helplessness. The father of the man she loved came to her door and asked her to leave his son. Now, Maupassant was her pillar of support. At this time, she wanted to confide in him, but she couldn't contact him. She felt very lost and helpless. Brother Mo, you've got me in trouble. You said that your family likes me very much. Why did someone claiming to be your father suddenly appear and try to break us up? Could it be that I met a fake father-in-law? That's impossible. Although you two don't look alike, your eyes are the same. My intuition tells me that he is your father. Brother Mo, your father actually doesn't like me. Gurgle gurgle, her stomach started to protest. Huang Ling rubbed her stomach and sighed deeply. Heis, no matter how much they dislike me, hate me, or despise me, I still have to eat. She sat up and got off the bed. Then, she walked to the long mirror in the dormitory and looked at herself in the mirror. She laughed self-deprecatingly. Huang Ling, do you have the ability to be hated by others? It was like that in the previous life and in this life as well. There are more people who hate you than like you. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Chapter 1196. She made a funny face at herself in the mirror. She looked very cute and playful. She said, maybe you're born with the ability to be hated. You're not bad looking. Look at Song Wuyo's face, it's devastatingly beautiful. Huang Ling's face is also quite pretty. Why do they say that her looks are not outstanding? It's not that Huang Ling is not outstanding, it's that you're hated. Don't talk about being reborn in Huang Ling's body. Even if you were reborn in God's body, you'd still be hated. So, I can't hate myself. I have to cherish myself. I'm going to eat. Huang Ling, you can do it. She clenched her fists and made a cheering gesture. Then, she went to the cafeteria to eat. At this time, there were quite a lot of people in the cafeteria. Huang Ling realized that from the dormitory to the cafeteria, she was highly regarded by her classmates. Huang Ling was puzzled. Have I become a celebrity? Huang Ling had lived 2 lives and was used to being pointed at and looked at in all kinds of ways. Therefore, she was quite calm in the face of the gazes of the military school classmates. She was used to it. There were many classmates in the cafeteria. When she entered, their gazes seemed to automatically look at her. Huang Ling raised her chin. Although she saw a few girls looking at her with jealousy and hostility, she secretly said to herself, Huang Ling, don't be afraid. Don't lower your head. The crown will fall. After saying that, she laughed in her heart. The crown will fall. This was to comfort those who were sad and wanted to cry. She was not very sad and did not want to cry. Moreover, she did not have a crown to wear on her head. She was hungry, and there was enough money in her meal card. Huang Ling ate a big meal. She bought all the good food in the cafeteria. It was full of all kinds of meat. There was only one vegetable. She brought the food over and found a seat to sit down. The classmate sitting next to her looked at her even more strangely. Damn it, she really could eat. When they were training, they did not eat so much. Her weight was as much as the boys. Zhou Ruochuan sat opposite her with a bowl of rice in her hands. Zhou Ruochuan had bought a few vegetarian dishes and only one meat dish. Huang Ling, you can eat so much. Zhou Ruochuan deliberately said loudly. Huang Ling was eating with her head lowered. Hearing Zhou Ruochuan's words, she looked up and glanced at her. Is it a crime to be able to eat? There were many boys in the canteen. Zhou Ruochuan gently smiled and said, how can eating be a sin? I just didn't expect you to have such a big appetite. There are many things you didn't expect. Huang Ling smiled faintly. Someone said that you are dating Coach Mo, right? If you think Coach Mo likes me, then we are going on a date. Huang Ling raised her head and looked at Zhou Ruochuan with a faint smile. Do you think Coach Mo likes me? Do you think I'm the prettiest girl in school? Zhou Ruochuan smiled. Chapter 1197. When she thought about her performance at the gala, she did not dare to say that she was not pretty. She knew that many male classmates would look at her differently after the gala. If she were to say that she was not pretty, wouldn't those male classmates hate her? Zhou Ruochuan did not want to be hated by the male classmates. She wanted to maintain a good image in front of everyone. Therefore, when Huang Ling asked her such a question, she could only give a tactful answer. She did not have to say that Huang Ling was not pretty. At the same time, she wanted to let Huang Ling know that she was not pretty. After hearing her words, Huang Ling only curled her lips and smiled faintly. She continued eating and did not want to bother about Zhou Ruochuan. Zhou Ruochuan saw that she was eating with relish and it was even streaky pork. Zhou Ruochuan frowned in disdain. Why do you like to eat fatty meat? Huang Ling replied, this is streaky pork, not fatty meat. There's a difference between streaky pork and fatty meat, okay? Zhou Ruochuan snorted. What's the difference? Aren't they both fatty meat? Fatty meat has no lean meat. Streaky pork has lean meat. Huang Ling was pretty patient. Zhou Ruochuan looked at her with disdain. Fatty meat, fish, pork ribs, prawns. Aren't you afraid of getting fat? Huang Ling did not raise her head and asked back. Do you think I'm fat now? Zhou Ruochuan kept quiet. Huang Ling was indeed not fat. Looking at herself, she was meatier than her. Huang Ling suddenly smiled at her. I've always been eating like this. If I wanted to get fat, I would have gotten fat long ago. You eat so much. Which guy would dare to chase you? Zhou Ruochuan smiled. I don't want guys to chase me. I want guys to chase me. Even guys wouldn't dare to chase you. You eat so much for every meal. Which guy can afford to feed you? If you can't afford to feed me, then don't chase me. I can feed myself. You're a mistress. Zhou Ruochuan pretended to look at Huang Ling with a shocked expression. Huang Ling did not get angry. Instead, she laughed. Why do you ask? The outfit for the gala must be very expensive. And I noticed that you eat a lot for every meal. You must be a spendthrift. You are saying that I am a mistress because I have money to spend. Zhou Ruochuan smiled. I was just joking with you. I'm sorry. I'm really a mistress. Zhou Ruochuan was shocked. Huang Ling continued, I am an only child. My father had passed away a long time ago. My mother has 100 million renminbi and a house. My mother treats me as more important than her life. She used 100 million renminbi to keep me as her mistress for the rest of my life. Hearing this, Zhou Ruochuan looked at Huang Ling in surprise. You have 100 million and a house. Huang Ling shrugged. It's not mine. It's my mom's. That 100 million was given to her by Gu Yanhao. When Gu Yanhao was imprisoned by Migu and the Gu clan was facing an economic crisis, she gave it to Song Wuyo to save her. After Gu Yanhao was released, the Gu clan returned to normal. After they had money, Gu Yanhao gave her the 100 million renminbi. When she was injured by Migu, she felt she was like Maupassant. Her life was dangerous, and she could be assassinated at any time. Therefore, she transferred the 100 million yuan to Lu Fingfing's name. If she was really assassinated one day, she could at least leave the money to her mother so that her mother could live a good life for the rest of her life. That money must be left behind by your father. Zhou Ruochuan suddenly envied Huang Ling. No wonder she looked so delicate and was the daughter of a wealthy family. Her father had passed away, but she still had so much money. If her father was still alive, she would be even richer. Huang Ling only smiled and did not say anything. It's really the same. Who knew if he was deliberately buying the same dishes as her just to strike up a conversation? The way you play the piano is very nice. Qing Shichin said sincerely. Thank you for the compliment. Qing Shichin did not look for a topic to talk about. After all, boys did not like to nag. Huang Ling's attitude was very indifferent, and Qing Shichin could feel it. After Huang Ling finished eating, Qing Shichin was almost done. He ate quickly, but Huang Ling ate slowly. Seeing Huang Ling stand up, he stood up as well. After putting the plate into the basket, Huang Ling walked out of the cafeteria, and Qing Shichin followed. The night is quite beautiful tonight. Since you just ate, do you want to take a walk? The scenery of the campus was not bad. Chapter 1199. Huang Ling raised her head and looked at the hazy sky. Next week was the Mid-Autumn Festival. The moon now was very round and beautiful. She smiled. It's indeed a good night for a walk. Qing Shichin was happy that she didn't refuse. He said, let's go for a walk on campus. I want to walk alone, Huang Ling said. The joy that had just surged in her heart suddenly disappeared, as if someone had poured a bucket of cold water on her. Qing Shichin looked at Huang Ling, you're rejecting me. Huang Ling looked at Qing Shichin calmly. Are you interested in me by asking me for a walk? Qing Shichin didn't hide it. Yes, if you didn't attend the party, I wouldn't know you. I know you now, and I'm especially interested in you. But you should have heard the rumors in school that I'm dating Coach Mo, Qing Shichin smiled indifferently. So what? Even if Coach Mo is your boyfriend, it doesn't affect my interest in you. If he finds out that you're his love rival, what if he doesn't choose you to join the army for revenge? My dream is not to be a soldier. My dad forced me to come. It's better if he doesn't choose me to join the army. I've been living here for the past 4 years. I never thought that I would be a soldier after graduation. I'm also living here. Let's go for a walk. Qing Shichin was delighted and asked with a smile, I can be a spare tire. Can you tell me that Coach Mo is your boyfriend? Coach Mo is a very outstanding person. There are many girls who like him. I think he's the national boyfriend. So he's the national boyfriend, not your boyfriend. Huang Ling smiled. No, he's my boyfriend. Now, Qing Shiqin didn't believe it. He completely regarded Huang Ling's words as a girl pursuing an idol. In a girl's eyes, an idol was perfect. You said that you're living here. Is your dream to be a musician? That was why she could play the zither so well. Huang Ling shook her head. No. Then what's your dream? To be able to fall in love with the man I love every day. What kind of dream was this? Has anyone ever told you that I love you very much? Huang Ling's phone rang. Her first reaction was to think of Maupassant. She quickly took out her phone and saw that it was him. She was happy and picked up the phone. Come to the seafood restaurant we ate at before. I'll wait for you here. Maupassant's magnetic voice came. Huang Ling nodded and smiled brightly. Okay, I'll be right there. After hanging up, Qing Shiqin asked, someone asked you out? Seeing the smile on her face, Qing Shiqin guessed, is he your boyfriend? Huang Ling nodded. Yes, the man I want to date every day. Huang Ling looked at Qing Shiqin. My spare tire, I'm going to abandon you and go on a date with the man I love. Qing Shiqin was not very happy. He smiled helplessly. Go ahead. The life of a spare tire has always been very sad. At the seafood store. There was a full seafood meal on the wide table. Mo Jinkai and Aina were both there. They sat next to each other, and Maupassant sat opposite them. After Maupassant received Mo Jinkai's call, he hurriedly drove over from the army. He didn't even have time to listen to Huang Ling's WeChat message. Now that he sat down, he listened to Huang Ling's WeChat voice message. He knew that this voice message was related to Mo Jinkai. No matter how good her personality is, in your eyes, she's still unlikable. But I know her. I didn't fall in love with her at first sight. After we got along, I was attracted by her generosity and her fearless personality. I slowly fell in love with her, and my love for her has grown so deep. Daddy, trust me. Your daughter-in-law is not worse than other women. Mo Jinkai still didn't believe Maupassant. How could she be Mr. Ban's daughter? Isn't his daughter Song Wuyo, the current first lady? Chapter 1201. Maupassant smiled. You said that you investigated Huang Ling. Did you investigate her relationship with Madam President? Do you know how close they are? Mo Jinkai was stunned. You mean that Huang Ling is Madam President's sister? Daddy, can you remove the word that woman? Huang Ling is not as bad as you think. If you think that Huang Ling is bad, then you think that I am bad. Then you can just treat yourself as useless and give birth to a useless son. You brat. When Mo Jinkai heard this, he was almost angered by Mo Bosun. He actually said that he was useless in a roundabout way. If he didn't think highly of Huang Ling, it meant that he was useless. If he thought highly of Huang Ling, it meant that Maupassant had good taste. She is far from Song Wuyo. Their temperaments are completely different. Mo Jinkai didn't believe that Huang Ling and Song Wuyo were sisters. Maupassant lightly said, everyone's temperament is different, and so is their personality. Daddy, don't be so picky. It will make you look brainless. You brat. Mo Jinkai was angered again. He glared at Maupassant fiercely. This brat was getting more and more impudent. He dared to say that he was useless again and again. He was a high-ranking official in the military government. Has anyone ever told you that I love you very much? Maupassant's phone rang. It was Huang Ling. His ringtone and hers were the same. It was just that his ringtone was sung by a man while hers was sung by a woman. Maupassant picked up the call and put it on speaker so that Mo Jinkai and Aina could hear it. Momo, I'm here. Are you on the first floor or the second floor? I can't find you in the lobby on the first floor. Maupassant lowered his head. His eyes were gentle. I'm in room 1 on the 3rd floor. Huang Ling said, Grandma, you know my legs are sore, but you still went to the 3rd floor. Why didn't you go to the 5th floor? The 5th floor was the top floor. Maupassant chuckled. Do you want me to go down and carry you up? Huang Ling said, No, I'll go up myself. The building only had 5 floors, and there was no elevator. Momo. When Mo Jinkai and Aina heard how Huang Ling addressed Maupassant, the corners of their eyes twitched. How can you be called Momo by a woman? Mo Jinkai looked at Maupassant unhappily. That's what I call her. No one else can call me that, including you and Mommy. Puisan, you really dote on Huang Ling. Aina, who had been unable to get a word in, didn't miss this opportunity. Maupassant glanced at Aina indifferently. I love her, so of course I have to pamper her. What will it take for you to break up with Huang Ling? Mo Jinkai looked sharply at Maupassant. Daddy, unless we don't love each other anymore, I won't break up with her. I'm serious about her. From the moment I confessed to her, I never thought that there would be a day when we would break up. I only thought of being with her forever and growing old together. Chapter 1202. It doesn't matter who says it, it's the same. Huang Ling got out of Maupassant's arms, then pulled a chair calmly and sat down beside Maupassant. She raised her hand and waved at Mo Jinkai and Aina. Hello. Mo Jinkai looked at Huang Ling with a dark face. You have no manners at all. Huang Ling thought that Maupassant had asked her out for dinner alone tonight. When she arrived at the seafood restaurant and didn't see him waiting for her at the entrance and even booked a private room, she guessed it. When she arrived at the door of the private room, she stood for a while and listened to the movements inside. Mo Jinkai didn't like her, which hurt her heart. However, Maupassant's love for her made her heart feel warm. Mo Jinkai liked Aina and even brought Aina to eat with Maupassant. Huang Ling felt that no matter how well she behaved in front of Mo Jinkai, in his eyes, it wasn't good. So, she thought it through. The more Mo Jinkai asked her to leave Maupassant, the more she didn't want to leave. As long as Maupassant loved her, she would be happy with him. She heard a saying before, it's better to be proud and moldy than to be in love humbly. She was in love. She didn't want to be in love humbly. She wanted to love nobly and with dignity. Aina, Li Xin, Mistress 3, Mistress 4, Mistress 5, Mistress 6, Mistress 7, Mistress 8. All of them should go to interstellar Earth. So, when she pushed the door open and entered, she didn't even look at Mo Jinkai and Aina and directly threw herself into Maupassant's arms. Based on her understanding of Maupassant and her bet, Maupassant would be very happy that she took the initiative to hug him, and he wouldn't deliberately distance himself from her in front of his father. Huang Ling pretended not to hear Mo Jinkai's words and looked at the seafood on the table happily. Momo, how much did you spend on this meal? The night before, we ate so extravagantly. I think we spent more than 100,000 yuan. Huang Ling deliberately raised the price so that Mo Jinkai would think that she was a prodigal. Maupassant lovingly stroked her hair that reached her waist. As long as you eat happily and are healthy, a few 100,000 is nothing. Huang Ling turned her head and smiled sweetly at Maupassant. Her smile was so sincere, so pure, and so beautiful. Momo, it's so good to be in love with you in this life. Mo Jinkai was infuriated by Huang Ling's attitude. His cold face darkened. Huang Ling, Uncle Mo doesn't like girls who don't know how to behave. You should restrain yourself a little. Aina had lost the sternness of a coach. She was now an obedient and gentle woman. Huang Ling glanced at her and even blinked. She asked mischievously, "What the hell are rules? Can it be eaten? Or will it improve the feng shui of our house? Come, eat the king crab." Maupassant peeled the king crab for Huang Ling and picked out the cream inside for her to eat. Before she arrived, Maupassant didn't let Maupassant and Aina eat first. As soon as Huang Ling arrived, Maupassant picked up food for her. Mo Jinkai was very unhappy. He thought to himself, this kid's soul has been stolen by this woman. Mo Jinkai looked at Huang Ling critically. Finally, he gently opened his thin lips. "Are you really Ban Chang's daughter?" Huang Ling had just taken a bite of the king crab. When she heard Mo Jinkai's words, her movements visibly moved. She looked up and glanced at Maupassant. Then, she turned her head and looked at Maupassant in surprise. "Momo, why did you tell Uncle this?" She didn't tell Maupassant about her relationship with Song Wuyo, but he guessed everything. If he told Mo Jinkai, it meant that he knew everything. Chapter 1203. Maupassant curled his lips. "I'm introducing you to my parents, so of course I have to explain it clearly." Huang Ling sighed and muttered, "So what if I explain it? Uncle doesn't value me and doesn't like me. Even if I'm the daughter of the Heavenly King, it still won't change." "Are you really Ban Chang's daughter?" Mo Jinkai asked again. "Uncle, you can dislike me, but you can't question your son's words. Would he make up a lie to deceive you?" Huang Ling looked at Mo Jinkai and said lightly. "You don't have any noble temperament at all." Mo Jinkai disdained. Sigh. Huang Ling helplessly shook her head. "If I knew that there was someone who would make me unhappy here, I wouldn't have come to eat seafood. If I'm unhappy, I don't even know if I'll be allergic to seafood. Don't worry and eat. With me accompanying you, how can you be unhappy? It's all your fault." Huang Ling suddenly thought of something and stared at Maupassant. "You said that your family likes me very much and begged me to give it to you, so I gave it to you. Now that I've lost my innocence, your father came to my door and said that I'm not suitable for you, that I'm not worthy of you. Tell me, with you accompanying me, how can I be happy?" Mo Jinkai's face changed and looked sternly at Maupassant. This brat was the one who begged her to go to bed with him. How shameless! Aina pursed her lips and looked at them silently. She couldn't feel how much Huang Ling cared about Maupassant, but she could feel that Maupassant cared about Huang Ling a lot. "Silly girl, my daddy doesn't like you, but that doesn't mean that my mommy and grandpa don't like you." Maupassant said softly, "Huang Ling, it doesn't matter if anyone likes you or not. The main thing is that I like you. I'm going to call my brother-in-law and complain." Huang Ling called Gu Yanhao. Maupassant raised his eyebrows and looked at her with interest. Huang Ling dialed Gu Yanhao's number and deliberately put it on speaker so that everyone could hear her conversation with Gu Yanhao. Luckily, Gu Yanhao was considerate enough to answer the call. "Huang Ling." As soon as Huang Ling heard his voice, she immediately pouted and called out pitifully, "Brother-in-law." The other party was obviously stunned for a moment, but soon, he asked warmly, "What's wrong? Is my sister with you?" Gu Yanhao was sitting on the balcony with Song Wuyo in his arms, looking at the beautiful moonlight. When Huang Ling called him, he put it on speaker. So, when Huang Ling asked, Song Wuyo and Gu Yanhao looked at each other. Song Wuyo asked, "Yes, what's wrong?" As soon as Song Wuyo heard Huang Ling call out, "Brother-in-law," from Gu Yanhao, she knew that Huang Ling was going to stir up trouble. So, she and Gu Yanhao cooperated with her tacitly. Maupassant bullied me, Huang Ling said angrily. Song Wuyo laughed softly. How did he bully you? He clearly told me that his family liked me a lot, so I agreed to live with him. Now, his old man came looking for me and forced me to leave him. How can I leave him? My period has been delayed for a week this month. Who knows if I'm pregnant or not? The more Huang Ling said, the more aggrieved and angry she felt. When Maupassant heard this, he almost spat out the soup in his mouth. This girl, complain if you want to, but don't lie. Didn't her period come on time this month? Whether she was pregnant or not, they would only know next month, right? A look of shock flashed across Mo Jinkai's sharp eyes. This woman was pregnant. She was pregnant with the Mo family's flesh and blood. Even Aina looked at Huang Ling in shock. Was she pregnant? Chapter 1204. If you really can't be together, you should have gone to the hospital for a checkup. If you're pregnant, you should have aborted the child. Mo Jinkai's eyes flashed when he heard Song Wuyo's words. Aborting the child. How could that be? No. How could the flesh and blood of the Mo family be aborted? Sister, I want to complain to brother-in-law. Maupassant bullied me. You should ask him to chase him back to L country. Don't work in K country anymore. Do you know what his old man said about me? He said that I'm affecting his future. I've never interfered with his career. How could I affect his future? He made me feel so wronged. I know. I'll teach him a lesson for you later. Gu Yanhao's low voice sounded. At the end of the day, that old man despised me because I was born poor and didn't match the Mo family's social status. Mo Jinkai's expression changed slightly when he heard this. This damned woman. She said everything. She had no sense of propriety. Old man. Was he an old man? Song Wuyo smiled. What do you need to do to be well matched? Directly transfer your household register to the Gu family. Huang Ling smiled bitterly. If I have the same household register as Ban Jianing, add the word Ban in front of my name, Huang Ling, then we'll be compatible. Song Wuyo frowned slightly when she heard this. Her heart inexplicably tightened slightly. If she hadn't come here and taken over this body, Huang Ling's identity would have been very different. You're the descendant of the Ban family. You should acknowledge your ancestors. Huang Ling, you've been wronged. Song Wuyo said sincerely. Huang Ling smiled. It's not wronged. I have a mother who loves me very much. Sister, I suddenly know what to do. Huang Ling, if you've been wronged outside, come back. The door of the manor will always be open for you, Song Wuyo said. Huang Ling was touched, not because Song Wuyo treated her well, but because Song Wuyo and Gu Yanhao were willing to cooperate with her. She smiled and said, all right, if Maupassant dares to bully me again, I'll go back to M City and move to the manor. After hanging up the phone, Song Wuyo said to Gu Yanhao, do you want to talk to Maupassant's father? Gu Yanhao looked at her. Talk about what? Why would he care about this when they are of equal social status? It's normal, especially in the world of soldiers. Their thinking is more conservative. So, go talk to him. It's not that Huang Ling isn't good enough for the Mo family, it's that the Mo family isn't good enough for Huang Ling. Huang Ling is a smart girl. Believe me, she can handle Maupassant's father. Song Wuyo pursed her lips. Why do I feel that Huang Ling is very simple and easy to bully? Gu Yanhao smiled and said, that's because she's good to you. She's not scheming. If she plays tricks, you can't beat her. Song Wuyo raised her eyebrows. Is my Ling so powerful? Let's wait and see. At the seafood restaurant in a city. After hanging up the phone, Huang Ling ate as if nothing had happened. Maupassant took the crabs away and said, "Pregnant women shouldn't eat too much crabs. Crabs are cold." Even Gu Yanhao and Song Wuyo cooperated with her. How could he dare not cooperate? Otherwise, he would have to kneel on the washboard later. It was so pitiful. Huang Ling was disobedient. She just wanted to eat crabs. She picked up the crab leg and bit it until it made a crisp sound. It's not even set in stone yet. Maybe it's because the training was too hard and she didn't eat well in the cafeteria, causing her menstruation to be irregular. Whether she's pregnant or not, we'll know when we go to the hospital for a checkup. Mo Jingkai said lightly. Daddy, do you believe me now? Huang Ling was only raised by Lu Fengfeng. She's actually Ban Dechang's daughter. She's with me. There's no such thing as a mismatch at all. Besides, your thinking is too old-fashioned. You have to change it. Huang Ling also responded, that's right. It's fine as long as two people love each other. Why do we have to marry a daughter of equal status? Do we have to quarrel every day? Is this kind of life easy? Maupassant, it's not easy. Chapter 1205. It was as if they were singing a duet. One sentence after another, each sentence excluded Mo Jingkai and Aina from the conversation. For the first time in his life, Mo Jingkai felt awkward. Why was it awkward? He thought that Huang Ling was just the daughter of an ordinary family. He did not expect her to be the daughter of the president, Ban Dekang, whom he had always admired. Also, his words did not affect Huang Ling at all. She did not cry in front of Maupassant. Instead, she was flirting with him in front of Maupassant. She did not take him seriously at all. She even dared to call him an old man in front of him. Mo Jingkai looked at Huang Ling. Was this woman really as special as his son said? Huang Ling seemed to have a good appetite. She had eaten a lot in the canteen, but she could eat a lot here. Mo Bosun also served her well and was very considerate of her feelings. He always went against Mo Jingkai and was even more indifferent towards Aina. After the meal, Mo Bosun even unfilially booked a hotel for Mo Jingkai and let him stay there. You don't want your father anymore now that you have this woman. At the hotel entrance, Mo Jingkai pointed at Maupassant and shouted angrily. Daddy, don't be angry. I think you'll be more comfortable in the hotel than staying at my place. Maupassant laughed. How can a hotel be more comfortable than a home? I'm talking about feeling comfortable in your heart, not feeling comfortable. Do you want to go back and see me and Huang Ling cuddling and loving each other? Do you really love Huang Ling that much? Maupassant nodded and said seriously, Love, I really love her. If I can't marry her in this life, let me be alone for the rest of my life. Mo Jingkai snorted. I don't think she loves you as much as you do and trusts you. Maupassant smiled. How long have you been with her? She's not the kind of woman who talks about love every day. So, how do you know that she doesn't love me deeply? Get out. I've been wise all my life, but I lost to you. Mo Jingkai turned around and strode into the hotel. What an unfilial son. He came all the way here, but he actually let him stay in a hotel. Sigh, it's good enough to have a hotel to stay in. This was self-consolation. Back in the car, Huang Ling asked, Is your daddy still angry? Maupassant said as he fastened his seatbelt, She doesn't look like she's angry. She just can't accept you. Huang Ling smiled bitterly. Am I really that annoying to him? It's not that he hates you. It's just that he has decided that Aina will be his daughter-in-law. Then let her be his daughter-in-law. Maupassant glared at her. Don't spout nonsense. He didn't like Aina at all. Huang Ling rolled her eyes. I'm just complaining. Why are you so nervous? How can I not be nervous when I can't be with you? Momo, the whole school is gossiping about me going on a date with you on the night of the gala. Isn't that the truth? Maupassant started the car and looked at her. Do you think we should confess to them that we're a couple? Huang Ling was testing him. No, Huang Ling's heart sank. What was the point of him hiding it? You have to tell them that we're husband and wife. Huang Ling's calm heart was like riding a roller coaster. She felt as if she was on a roller coaster. She smiled easily. Okay, I'll tell them that we're husband and wife. After meeting with Maupassant that night, they were separated for another week. Maupassant had something to do in the army, so the training at school was handed over to Ives. This week, Huang Ling didn't see Aina at school. This made her heave a sigh of relief. At least during the training, she didn't have to worry that Aina would take revenge on her. Chapter 1206. This week, Huang Ling did not have a peaceful time. This was because Professor Chen Xia and Senior Qing Shichen wanted to pursue her. When they were eating in the canteen, they liked to sit with her. When they bumped into each other in school, they would take the initiative to talk to her. Actually, what they did was not overboard. They were just chatting and having a good impression of her. But Huang Ling was a semi-isolator. Other than the man she liked, all other men were, anyway, she was not interested in men who took the initiative to pursue her. She remembered that when she was using the identity of Song Wuyo, she only thought about Gu Yanhao. She felt disgusted whenever a man was interested in her. Now, she was deeply in love with Maupassant. She was not interested in men who were pursuing her. Huang Ling said that these men were perverts. It did not matter if they were perverts or not. Anyway, she would not accept those pursuers. She had Maupassant and that was enough. Without Maupassant in school, Huang Ling felt that it was boring to train and attend classes here. She felt that she was not good at studying. Other than training to improve her physique, she was not that weak. She could even go a few rounds with Maupassant in one night. Those military theories, numbers, foreign languages. She could not understand any of them. When she listened to military theories, she would imagine how cool Maupassant was when he was fighting at the front line. As for the other subjects, she would put the textbook vertically and then lie down to sleep. She did not know if it was because she held her textbook too high or if the teacher did not do it on purpose. Anyway, she would not get demerit points for sleeping in every lesson. Tonight, Professor Chen Xia was giving a lecture. She did not like to listen, so she did not attend. She walked back to her dormitory from the teaching block. She wanted to visit Maupassant's house. She wondered if his father was still there. This week, Mo Jingkai did not look for her. She felt quite peaceful. Although Maupassant was not in the military school, he would send her messages on WeChat when he was free. Every time she saw the message he sent, her heart would be like eating candy, so sweet that it was like eating sugar. After thinking about it, Huang Ling felt that it was better to take a walk on campus. It would be boring if she went back to her dorm. If she went back to Maupassant's house and met Mo Jingkai, she would be in a bad mood for a few days. Huang Ling, Qing Shichen's voice came from behind. When Huang Ling heard his voice, she was a little speechless. Sigh, instead of attending Chen Xiao's class, she had to meet Qing Shichen. She could hide from the wolf, but she couldn't hide from the tiger. Qing Shichen's tall figure quickly came to her side. Qing Shichen was quite handsome. He was 186 meters tall, although he was not as tall as Maupassant, who was 19 meters tall. But he looked quite strong and had a good temperament. His wheat-colored skin made him look healthier and more radiant. The only men that Huang Ling had really interacted with were Gu Yanhao and Maupassant. Gu Yanhao and Maupassant were both cold. Maupassant spoke with assurance in front of her with a warm smile. But in front of others, he was just like Gu Yanhao. Cold and did not like to talk. Now that she knew the radiant Qing Shichen, Huang Ling had the guts to know a fake man. Weren't all men cold and cool? Why did you call me? Huang Ling asked indifferently. Aren't you going to the canteen? Qing Shichen asked. Huang Ling shook her head. In a while. I'm not hungry yet. At this time, there are a lot of people lining up. I don't want to eat at this time. Let's go. Let's walk around the campus before going to the canteen. Chapter 1207. Huang Ling felt that Qing Shichen's way of expressing himself was a little forceful and domineering without considering her feelings. She had not even said that she wanted to walk around the campus with him, her expression was indifferent. No, I'm a little tired. I'll go back to my dormitory to lie down. Qing Shichen furrowed his brows slightly. Class 1 doesn't have training today. Why are you so tired? How could he not know that Huang Ling was avoiding him on purpose? Huang Ling smiled bitterly. I feel weak for a few days every month. Can't help it. When Qing Shichen heard that, he was slightly stunned. Menstrual cramps. When Huang Ling heard that, she felt really embarrassed as the corner of her eyes twitched. This Qing Shichen, did he have to be so direct and calm when asking? It was as though he was having a normal meal. Since he was so direct and calm, Huang Ling did not pretend to be shy. It's not really painful. It's just that I feel weak. How about this? You go back to your dormitory to rest. I'll go to the canteen to buy some food for you. Qing Shichen was really enthusiastic and proactive. No need. Huang Ling rejected hurriedly. If he refused to leave the dormitory and insisted on finding topics to chat with her, wouldn't she break down? She said hurriedly, I want to be alone. I'm feeling really frustrated. Qing Shichen, you'd better not appear in front of me or I'll lose my temper. Qing Shichen did not mind. Instead, he smiled out as though he was really familiar with her. If you're angry with me, you won't be frustrated. Go ahead then. Shameless, Huang Ling said bluntly before leaving Qing Shichen behind and striding towards her dormitory. She had wanted to take a stroll around the campus. Seemed like that plan was ruined. Qing Shichen did not chase after her. He stood there and looked at Huang Ling's back view. Qing Shichen curled his lips gently. His peach blossom eyes shone with a charming light. He pouted. Huang Ling, the more you avoid me, the more I'll pester you. He liked to be serious with her. It was quite interesting. Such a Huang Ling was totally different from the girl playing the zither on stage. He wanted to know what kind of environment could raise a girl to be so interesting and elegant. Yes, to Qing Shichen, the Huang Ling on stage was elegant. Qing Shichen took a deep breath and said to himself, Huang Ling, if your boyfriend was Coach Mo, you would be very lonely and hard, just like my mother. Before Huang Ling returned to her dorm, she received a call from the post office. The delivery boy asked her to pick it up at the school gate. He was waiting for her. Huang Ling was confused. I have a delivery. Could it be that Weo girl secretly sent me something delicious? She jogged to the door, signed her name, and took one. The delivery was a document bag. Obviously, it was a document and not food. Huang Ling was confused again. Documents? What is it? The address on the document showed that it was from a city. Could it be that Brother Mo sent it to me? Huang Ling walked towards the dormitory while opening the file. When he opened it, he realized that it wasn't a document, but a few photos. The photos made Huang Ling feel very strange. She took out the photos and looked at them. The first photo was of a half-naked woman hugging a man in military uniform and rolling in the sheets. The woman's face was facing the camera. Huang Ling recognized the woman in the photo. This woman was really Aina. The Aina who was not in school for a week. The man in military uniform had his back facing the camera. It was a little blurry and his hairstyle couldn't be seen clearly. However, the military uniform looked like it was worn by Maupassant. Looking at this photo, Huang Ling's heart clenched. She hurriedly looked at the second photo. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.